locally. This year I worked with a group of high school students from many high schools around the Glynn County area, and they thought about what can we do to make our beaches wildlife friendly. And they had several ideas, including getting dogs to stay on leashes and how to improve lighting around our beaches to make it more sea turtle friendly. But those felt big, right? And we were all about you can have an impact even if it's small. You can still make a huge impact. So with that, they came to the idea of updating the container ordinance to include Styrofoam, and this is just for Glynn County beaches. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Mackenzie Buck, and she is going to explain what the group that she led came up with.
Right, thank you for having us. So our proposal, what I love about our proposal is that it's quite simple, especially when I just listen to all the other things that were discussed here. This is very simple. It's an amendment to section 2-11-17, and it is literally only a 3-word change, which you can see in red on your handouts. It's adding polystyrene or polystyrene to the ordinance and deleting sharp. And so you're probably wondering why. Why do we care to do this, especially if it is something that is that small? I can give you 3 good reasons. The first is to protect the beaches that drive Glynn County's tourism and hospitality industry. The second is that it addresses challenges with heavy traffic beach weekends, especially Frat Beach, but basically Memorial Day on. And Alex can quick speak to KGIP's program.
Yeah, so a couple of you guys, we've talked with you about this, and Keep Golden Isles Beautiful is already on board with doing a program where they swap out the styrofoam coolers for free with people who come to the beach at Frat Beach, and I believe also July 4th at times. Parker's Convenience Store has been a partner in doing that program with them, and there is an alternative that is recyclable. It is the cardboard coolers, which when I heard that I was, really? You can use cardboard as a cooler? But they do have special coolers that are made that can be broken down and recycled that are made of cardboard that Keep Golden Isles Beautiful and Parker's Convenience Stores have distributed before.
So the third and final reason, which I think really encompasses the 2 reasons that I just mentioned, is protecting the residents of Glynn County. When we protect our environment, which drives tourism and hospitality, we also protect the residents of Glynn County in terms of not only their health, but jobs, tax reductions, and cost savings. So a couple fast facts about industry. So more than 15,000 jobs in Glynn County are related to tourism and hospitality in some way. Now, 18% is a bit on the smaller side. When you actually take the calculations and look at the population of Glynn County that is available for work, so non-college students and those who aren't or cannot participate in the workforce for some reason, the jobs percentage actually approaches close to 30%. And so from that, we have an annual tax savings per household from tourism is $858. And this has been calculated by the Golden Isles CBP, so that's where these numbers are coming from. And in terms of infrastructure, more than $530 million has been invested in Glynn County in terms of infrastructure improvements and investments since 2011. So for those reasons, we have concluded, and every economic report I've ever read from Glynn County has concluded that tourism-related industries are the base of the Glynn County economy. $1.7 billion was the economic impact of tourism in 2018 alone. And so some fast facts about plastics. So polystyrene makes up about 90% of all marine debris, and 80% of that pollution comes from the land. And so it's not a huge stretch to think that, well, beaches are adjacent to the ocean, and that is land. So about 80% of pollution comes from beaches, essentially. And plastic is found in 86% of sea turtles, and given that polystyrene makes up about 90% of that, polystyrene is what's mainly found in sea turtles. And so that is the #1 offender, and it's a key player in pollution. Now the reason why this is so important is because, in my opinion, and I think most of us will agree, that tourism and our environment are inextricably linked. We cannot have tourism plays out. A lot of these places are from South Carolina, Isle of Palms, Folly Beach, Mount Pleasant, Sullivan's Island, Kiowa Island, and of course Miami. And there are numerous other locations in Florida who have also considered these things. And in addition to considering polystyrene, these places have also actually taken further action that we have yet to take. So like I said, ours is kind of baby steps. They have banned polystyrene at point of sale, straws, plastic bags, etc. That is not what we came here to do. We came here to take polystyrene off of our beaches and our beaches only. So statewide polystyrene laws, Virginia, Maryland, Vermont, New York, Colorado, Maine, and more under consideration. Georgia actually has a similar proposal under consideration concerning state lands. And so I think we'd like to be one step ahead of the folks in Atlanta when we do this. So essentially what we came here to ask you all to do is we wanted to ask whether or not you would be willing to take a vote on this at some point over the summer. Thank you.
Mackenzie, the only thing I can say is it is not hard to figure out why you would